Chapter 2. Snyder turned and walked over to the bodies. The first, a young woman, lying curled up in a pool of blood. Scattered around her body were blue orchids. Her hands and arms were curled, as if she tried to protect her stomach. She was wearing a pink, off-the-shoulder dress which appeared sliced up from a knife or blade of some sort. The way she laid on the ground exposed her crouch. She didn't have anything on underneath. He knelt next to her body, careful not to disturb any evidence. Her hair covered her face. Snyder stared at her for a few seconds, remembering her beautiful eyes. He reached over to remove some strands from her face, but just as his fingertips were about to touch her hair, he pulled his hand back, realizing he was about to mess up the evidence. Quickly, he gathered his thoughts. He stood up and walked over to the other body, a few feet away. It was a white male, lying on his back with his arms off to his side. One of his eyes open, positioned straight up to the sky. The other eye had been stabbed out. His throat looked as if it had been torn apart from the side of his face had a big slash on it. A copious amount of blood surrounded his head. His blue button-down shirt and his white pants were soaked in it. To the side of his body were markings in the ground that resembled shoe prints pointed towards the front gate. Moments later, Ezra walked up to him. "Detective, I noticed upon my arrival the security gate was open. The latch had what appeared to be a partial bloody handprint." Snyder drew in a deep breath. "Did you notice the rain ready to fall, Ezra? Why wouldn't you tell me this when I first got here?" Ezra lowered his head. "I'm sorry, sir. I should have mentioned the print to you upon your arrival. I guess I let the media distract me." "Well, we can't afford to have you distracted. This is a murder case. I'm going to go grab a tarp from the trunk of my car. The minute CIS gets here, tell them to come immediately to this spot." "Yes, sir. Again, I'm sorry, sir." Snyder walked to his car and popped the trunk. Seconds later, Ezra walked up. "Sir, I forgot, Snyder slammed his trunk. "Get the fuck out of here. Go and do what I told you to do. I'll be over there in a minute." "Okay, sir." He turned, walked away, and muttered under his breath, "He needs to calm the hell down." After he placed the tarp on the gate, Snyder stepped through the open condo door. It was a nice place, probably close to 5,000 square feet. Hip-hop music played from the built-in wall speakers. 3 half-full wine glasses sat on the coffee table next to 2.5 lines of cocaine. Obviously, a party had occurred earlier. Snyder wrote a note in his pad. Where is the third person? Nothing appeared disturbed inside the condo. The place had the appearance of a recent cleanup job, and the hardwood floors newly waxed. The lights were dim, and candles burned inside 2 sconces on the living room wall. They gave off the aroma of lavender. Floor-to-ceiling windows replaced some walls, and a fireplace was next to one of them. The stainless steel appliances in the kitchens appeared to be new. A beeping microwave sat on the granite countertop. Snyder used his pen to open the door and discover a pizza pocket inside. He turned and went into the great room where a 50-inch TV hung on the wall above another fireplace. Snyder walked out the back door. He stepped upon a large patio with a fire pit. Beyond the swimming pool was a spectacular view of lights from the city buildings below the hillside. He stared off into the distance. Wow, she had it all. Snyder shook his head. Look at the lights. Damn. He kicked over one of the white plastic pool chairs, then told himself, "Calm down, Sanford." He took a deep breath and looked around to make sure no one had noted his behavior. Moments later, he entered the front of the yard where the crime scene investigation unit was collecting blood from the gate. Phillips was walking towards the front door. Snyder cringed at his unshapely body, a physique that had worsened over time, his stomach hanging over his belt. Phillips was built like a refrigerator, 6'2" and 247 pounds, half fat and half muscle. What hair he had was gray, an old man comb over that had gone from convincing to ridiculous in the 3 years they'd been partners. Philip was clean shaven, and while time hadn't been kind to his wrinkled face, his tan skin still gave him the California beach boy appearance. Snyder caught up to him at the front door. "Hey, Fred, is Linda all right?" He sneezed and sniffled. Phillips replied, "Yeah, her sciatica acted up, and she was in a lot of pain, but they gave her an epidural steroid injection. She felt better after the shot. I see your allergies acting up. Did you take your medicine?" "Yeah, I stopped and grabbed some before I arrived. Anywho, what do we have here, partner?" As they walked into the condo, Snyder gave an overview of what he discovered. Phillips folded his arms. "Yeah, a damn shame. Such a pretty lady. Anyone notified Kadir?" "Not yet. According to Ezra, we'll inform him ourselves later." "Fine. Sounds like a plan." Snyder showed Phillips the wine glasses and the lines of cocaine, then took him into the yard towards the back gate. He pointed his flashlight at a row of bushes along the fence. Phillips approached the bushes. There was a white, gold, and purple Lakers Pro Models cap with blood on it. He put on a glove and picked up the cap. "Sanford, look what I found." Snyder walked up to him and gave the cap a glance over. "Well, partner, Mike Murray and Kadir Bakerman's autograph is in this hat. And if you observe closely, you can see short black curly hairs inside," Phillips said. "Get the fuck out of here." Now, his wife had long blonde and Kadir... Get the fuck out of here. Now, his wife had long blonde hair and Kadir had short curly black hair. So I imagine she wasn't the last one to have worn that cap. Snyder rubbed his forehead. "What I don't understand is why he would wear a cap with his own damn autograph on it." "Come on, Sanford, you've been in LA long enough to understand how egotistical and entitled these celebrities can be." "Yeah, Kadir's ego is legendary. Let's bag the cap, tag it, and go over to the bodies." He directed Phillips out of the condo and over to the bodies of Sharina Bakerman and Jared Cleaver. The medical examiner, a short, portly man, knelt next to the remains. He glimpsed up as the two detectives approached him. "Good evening, detectives." "Evening, Summit. How long have they been dead?" Phillips asked. He arose to his feet. "The bodies are still warm and rigor hasn't taken place. I would estimate less than 7 hours," Phillips said. "It's 10:30 p.m. now, so that would put the murders happening around what, 3:30 p.m. at the earliest, give or take?" Snyder sniffled. "What about the murder weapon?" "It appears to have been a knife, but I'll be able to give you more information once I have a chance to examine the bodies further." Snyder and Phillips thanked the medical examiner and walked back into Serena's condo. They stood in the kitchen and surveyed the crime scene. Minutes later, Snyder heard loud voices. "What the hell is going on outside?" Phillips went over to the front door. "I don't know, but we better go and investigate." Section break. He kicked over. Minutes later, I drove up to the condo where I observed several news media trucks, a gang of police cars with their lights on, and yellow crime scene tape over the interior entryway. Additionally, I spotted 2 white tents in Serena's front yard. A crowd of people stood on the other side of the street. They held umbrellas. Some shook their heads in disbelief, while others clasped their hands over their mouths. I parked at the rear of a media truck with a logo on the back window that read "Celebrities in Bad Situations." I grabbed my umbrella and exited the car. Kadir's silver Bentley tore past the corner in the opposite direction 100 feet from Serena's place. Kadir drove past the media and parked with one tire up on the curve next to the police barricade in front of the condo. Kadir's door swung open as I rushed over to it, and he hurried out of the car. He wore a blue KB sweatsuit and shoes, his personal brand. He appeared upset. The paparazzi swarmed him as he neared the barricade with a determined stride. As I approached him, I noticed his balled up lips, his buck-wild eyes, and his clenched fist at his side. I drew nearer. "Kadir, hold up, man." He turned and peered at me as a couple of raindrops rolled down his face. His eyes narrowed and worried. He threw up his hands in the air. "Mike, thank God you're here. This shit is bizarre. I don't even know what the hell is going on, but I'm here to get some information." He turned and continued towards the yellow crime scene tape. I stepped up next to him. "Wait! Hold up! Are you crazy? You can't walk underneath the tape. Hold on!" I attempted to stop Kadir's 6'7" wide frame with a muscular build. He yanked his arm from my grip. "Mike, what the fuck are you talking about, bruh? This is my wife's house. I need to see what's going on, so I'm going underneath the tape." I attempted to stop Kadir as he tried to go underneath the yellow crime scene tape at Serena's condo. As we stood in the sparkling rain, I grabbed his arm, but he snatched it away and plunged forward to the front door. Instantly, 3 uniformed officers appeared just inside the cordoned off area. One of them, a tall, dark-haired male, shouted to Kadir, "Sir, you need to step back." Another officer, an overweight, bearded male, looked at Kadir and patted his shoulder. "Please calm down, Mr. Bakerman." Kadir's eyes scrunched and his jaws clenched. "This is the home of my wife. I demand to be told what's happened here." I held Kadir back and tried my damnedest to relax him. A third officer glared at me. "Get your boy, Mike." I let go of Kadir and turned to the policeman. "What the fuck you mean, get your boy?" I dug my index and middle finger into his chest. "That's my wife's home. What the fuck is going on?" Kadir pointed to the front gate of the condo at the 2 white crime scene guards over tents and either side of Serena's front door, as several police officers entered and exited the area. "What is going on over there? Where's my wife?" 2 guys in raincoats with badges around their necks came out the front door of Serena's condo and walked right up to us. One of them, a short, chubby, old dude, approached us first. "Are you Kadir Bakerman?" "What the hell happened to my wife? I want information now." Kadir's eyes narrowed. "Mr. Bakerman, my name is Detective Fred Phillips. This is my partner, Detective Sanford Snyder. I regret to inform you your wife is dead." Kadir froze. "We understand, Mr. Bakerman, you're in need of some answers, and we are likewise. Will you come downtown to answer some questions?" Kadir pointed at the white screen guards. "Officer, is my wife laying underneath the tent?" "I'm sorry. I want to see my wife." He tried again to go underneath the tape. The vein on Kadir's forehead throbbed. I knew he was about to lose control. I dropped my umbrella and grabbed him. "Bruh, Hold on. You can't go underneath the tape. Kadir broke free from my grip and charged through the tape with his arms extended. No, my Sharina, no, she isn't dead. I grabbed Kadir as 3 officers converged and tackled the 2 of us into the muddy grass. Damn, I thought as I was covered in mud from head to toe. My entire outfit was ruined. I got to my feet and picked up my umbrella, likewise covered in mud. The officers stood back up and brushed some mud off of themselves from the fall. One officer raised his arm. Hey, Mr. Bakerman, this has gone way too far. Your next move like that, I'm going to put you in handcuffs. Another officer patted his back. Come on, Darnell. Be easy. The man lost his wife. I peered down at Kadir as he sat on his ass. Come on, man. Pick yourself up. Get it together, bruh. I grabbed his arm and helped him up to his feet. Cameras flashed from the paparazzi. An startlingly loud clap of thunder roared, and it began to downpour. I got my umbrella together to place over Kadir and my head. I wiped rainwater off my face. Man, come on, let's go. This isn't looking good for us, bruh. You out here fooling. Kadir stared at Snyder for a moment. Don't I recognize you? Haven't we met before? I'm sure we have, Snyder said, and we meet again. But this time I need to speak with you downtown, sir. We stood underneath my muddy umbrella as the rain poured into the earth and gave off the smell of petrichor. Kadir glared at Snyder, 2 feet away. Out of all people, they got your punk ass on the case? My eyes widened. Kadir, how do you know this dude? He turned to face me. I had a run-in with this pussy years ago. Kadir turned back towards the detectives. I can come in now, bitch. Kadir glanced at me. Mike, follow me downtown so I can see what the hell is going on. All right, I'm parked over there behind that truck. I pointed at the Celebrities in Bad Situations van. Cameras flashed as the paparazzi behind the second police perimeter spewed questions at Kadir as he went to his Bentley. By the time I got to my car, Kadir had driven up next to me, ready to go. We arrived at the downtown station 30 minutes later, got out of our cars and entered into the building, together. I rubbed his back as we sat in the waiting room. Kadir, I'm going to tell you now.